Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Town of Easton's 2021 Purple Heart Day ceremony. We're here at the Easton Town offices. With me, I have Commander Steve Shaw of the VFW Post 2547, chaplain and Vietnam veteran, as well as a Purple Heart recipient, Tom Botello. Also in attendance, we have State Senator Walter Timilty, State Representative Carol Doherty, Select Board Chair Dottie Fulginitti, Select Board Vice Chair Craig Barger, Select Board Member Jamie Stebbins, and Purple Heart recipient and Iraq War veteran Kurt Power. Please stand and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Today we're here to honor National Purple Heart Day. A few times each year, we as a nation formally pause to reflect upon and remember the sacrifices made by brave men and women of our U.S. military. Today's a day to honor those who have been awarded the Purple Heart. The Purple Heart Medal is presented to service members who have been wounded or killed as a direct result of enemy action while serving in the U.S. military. It's also presented to the family members of those killed in action. According to the National Purple Heart Hall of Honor, more than 1.8 million Purple Heart medals have been presented to service members since the award was created in 1782. In 2015, the town of Easton became a Purple Heart community. This simple but meaningful gesture solidified the pre-existing support and recognition that we have always provided to our veterans here in Easton, particularly our combat wounded. We're fortunate enough to have with us here today a handful of local residents who have received the Purple Heart. Selfless heroes who sacrifice themselves, mind and body, in the preservation of our freedom while serving in the theater of combat operations. Shortly, I will introduce one of our local Purple Heart recipients as our guest of honor. Please welcome Select Board member and Air Force veteran Jamie Stebbins to read the Purple Heart Day Proclamation.
Corey, thank you very much, and we'd just like to thank all of our distinguished guests and Purple Heart recipients, and take a moment to catch my own breath. But and just thinking about my Uncle Norm, who fought the Battle of the Bulge, and we lost a few years ago and received the Purple Heart. So a lot of meaning here today, and a real privilege, so thank you. So Town of Easton Proclamation, Purple Heart Town. And again, it's August 7th is when it's nationally recognized. So being that town offices are closed tomorrow, we celebrate today on the 6th. Whereas the people of the town of Easton have great admiration and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served their country and this community in the armed forces for the good of all. And whereas contributions and sacrifices of the men and women from Easton who have served in harm's way in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedom and the way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas citizens of our community have been killed in action while serving in the armed forces and have been posthumously awarded the Purple Heart for their ultimate sacrifice. And whereas citizens of our community have been awarded the Purple Heart for their bodily sacrifice and being wounded in action while engaged in combat. And whereas the Purple Heart is the oldest American military decoration in present use and was created as the badge of military merit on August 7, 1782, in Newburgh, New York by General George Washington. Initially, it was made of purple cloth, shaped as a heart with the word merit sewn upon it. And whereas the heritage it represents is sacred to those who know the price paid to wear the Purple Heart. And whereas August 7th is nationally recognized as Purple Heart Appreciation Day. And whereas, now therefore be it proclaimed, we, the Easton Select Board, on behalf of the town of Easton, go on record to hereby proclaim Easton, Massachusetts, a Purple Heart town, honoring the service and sacrifice of our nation's men and women in uniform that were wounded or killed by the enemy, while serving to protect the freedoms enjoyed by all Americans. Also, be it proclaimed, we, the town of Easton, will recognize August 7th annually as Purple Heart Day, and urge the people and organizations of Easton to display the American flag as well as other public expressions of recognition of our Purple Heart recipients. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Please stand as we raise the American flag along with the Purple Heart flag. Please remain standing and join me in a moment of silence to honor those Purple Heart recipients who are no longer with us and the family members they leave behind. Thank you. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce our honored guest, Kurt Power. Kurt Power is an Iraq War veteran, Purple Heart recipient, and Military Order of the Purple Heart State Service Officer for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. As a patriotic American, he joined the U.S. Army after 9/11 to do his part in defending his country in the War on Terror. Power fought in some of the heaviest combat of the war in Ramadi, Iraq in 2005 to 2006, where he served as a vigilant hunter, conducting military operations on urban terrain to hunt high-level al-Qaeda operatives. Despite frequent firefights, surviving multiple IED blasts, taking heavy casualties, and being shot in the chest by a sniper while on reconnaissance mission in 2005, Power still says the hardest part of war is coming home. Through hard work and perseverance, Power was fortunate enough to make a successful transition back to the civilian world, but continues to help fight for our veterans in crisis everywhere, in hopes we can one day end the veteran suicide epidemic. He serves as a member of the Transit Police. Detective Power has been a police officer for 13 years. He is currently assigned to the Youth Violence Strike Force for the last 4 years, where he serves as a full-time member of the Boston Police Gang Unit. He's also the founder of the home-based No Shave fundraiser, which has now raised over $1 million to help fight veteran suicide. Kurt, we're honored to have you here with us today. Would you please come up and share a few words?
First off, I just want to say it's a real honor to be here today. Some absolutely amazing veterans here and some absolutely amazing patriotic Americans. I appreciate the kind words, but like I always tell everyone, there's nothing special about me. I'm just a big dummy that didn't duck, that was too stupid to die. But, it's a real powerful time of year. And this holiday means a lot to me, and I'll tell you why. As Corey said, fought over Ramadi and back in 2005, I was on a reconnaissance mission. I got the side of my chest blown out by a sniper. Used my medevac out, continued to fight with my brothers that were being killed. Never regretted the decision. But it was such a turning point, I say, in my life, right? Because I was a good guy before the war, I'm not going to lie, but I said I was a better guy after, because what's kind of really special about the Purple Heart community is so many of us are able to take one of the most traumatic experiences in our life and more often than not turn it into a positive experience, right? I say every day above ground is a good day, and I have never taken one day in my life for granted since then. Not only that, I said, like, being tied to every veteran that has ever been wounded or killed in action. I think it's important for all of us to really have that perspective of saying, we owe it to the guys that didn't make it to do everything we can to make the world a better place. And instead of this being, a heartbreaking experience in my life, I've really been fortunate enough, like a lot of us that have been wounded in action, to really take the positive from it, and I think it's important for everyone to kind of know that, not to be cliche, but like freedom isn't free, and you have heroes all around you. Like, look at the men and women that came out here today. Like, you read about them, you see stories about them on the History Channel, but like, they're your family members, they're your neighbors, right? Like, Massachusetts is full of not only so many amazing American heroes, but so many great patriotic Americans like all of you that came out today. So I really just want to say thank you all so much for taking the time to celebrate Purple Heart Day. I respect everyone's service so much, but I truly think it's so important, because I say it's like the one day of the year that some warrior waking up, putting on his legs that lost him overseas, that all of us collectively as a nation can say thank you. Thank you for your service. I would like to hit a side note here real quick, just as far as a target of opportunity. And I would say, coming home was hard, right? And, we have to do everything for our veterans that are transitioning home. But who was a hugely impactful figure when I was transitioning home with survivor guilt and a broken heart, honestly, was Senator Timblety, who I always say, he was the first person that called me and said, Kurt, if you ever need anything, you just let me know. And that might have been a small act for Walter, who's a great man and does a lot for the veteran community, but for me, that was so important to know that anybody actually cared enough about us to do what they could to help, and to know that I could reach out if I needed assistance. So Walter, I don't want to derail things here, but I'm going to anyways. If you come up real quick, I have a challenge coin. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a great American. Thank you for your support. So much for your support of the troops. Thank you for your service. Appreciate your time, and God bless America.
Wow, thank you, Kurt. It's really an honor to have you here today. I just want to remind everybody, it's not an easy task to get up here and to talk about yourself, especially talk about your experience receiving the Purple Heart, probably one of the most traumatic days of your life, and you get to come recount it in front of 40 plus people, some strangers. So just get another round of applause for Kurt. Now I'd like to invite some of our other distinguished guests up here to share a few words with us. Next, I'd like to call up Senator Timmelton.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Thank you. This is a wonderful honor and a great surprise. I accept this on behalf of all our legislators here in Easton who truly love our veterans, and thank you. Rep. Cronin, Rep. Doherty, and of course Senator Brady was at Purple Heart ceremonies, along with Rep. Cronin who has commitments. And we thank you for everything, and of course your modest remarks, Kurt. Thank you. Thank you all very much. It's an honor to be here today in Easton. I thank our select board for this invitation. It's an honor, again, to be here. And to our firefighters, thank you for being here for our veterans and our Purple Heart recipients. And if I may, of course, if our chair of our select board could come forward for a moment, please. I have a citation here for Senator Brady and myself. I know, of course, Rep. Doherty has a citation from Representative Cronin and herself. And this is honoring the town of Easton for commemorating Purple Heart Day once again and its commitment to our veterans. And of course, your personal commitment to veterans, which I know your father, Navy veteran, lead World War II, right after World War II. Yeah. Right after World War II, and of course and of course Mr. Stebbins, thank you, and Craig, each and every member of your board is dedicated, as is the town of Easton, to our veterans. But the citation states as follows: Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts State Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the town of Easton, and of course its wonderful veteran services, for honoring our veterans, who today we thank, especially our Purple Heart recipients, in recognition of the town of Easton's long-standing commitment to honor those that have been injured in an act of war serving to protect our freedom. And be it further known that the Massachusetts State Senate extends its best wishes to each and every veteran here today, especially our Purple Heart recipients, that the citation be duly signed by the State Senate President and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the clerk. It has been signed by our Senate President, Karen E. Spilka, and offered by Michael Brady and myself, Walter Timothy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much.
town of Easton. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Jamie. And I'll be very brief. Today we salute the brave women and men of the United States Armed Forces who have been awarded this medal for their courage and sacrifices. Some service members were awarded the Purple Heart for their wounds sustained during combat, while others received the medal through their families posthumously for their ultimate sacrifice, giving their lives in battle for our great nation. Here in Easton, a Purple Heart community, we are honoring today Kurt J. Power, who was awarded the Purple Heart as a result of wounds he sustained when shot in the chest, as Kurt told you about so eloquently, by a sniper in 2005 during combat operations in Ramadi, Iraq. What Kurt neglects to say out of modesty is that Kurt was a long-range scout in the Army, reconnaissance. And he also refused medevac, not just in the battle itself, because as Kurt, you told me you were surrounded and your unit was in a bad way. Kurt also refused medevac to the Army Medical Center in Landstuhl, Germany, where he could have received far better care because Kurt did not want to leave his unit. Kurt has already given so much to our country and continues to give back. For instance, Kurt has been on a mission to help fellow veterans who suffer from the invisible wounds of war, specifically post-traumatic stress disorder. Quite simply, Kurt saves lives. At a time when reports show that 17 veterans commit veteran suicide each day, Kurt is a beacon of hope. Kurt exemplifies living life to the fullest and helping the world to be a better place. This spring, Kurt embarked on his Don't Stop Fighting tour and by himself drove cross country. Took personal time off from his work as a detective with the Transit Police and drove by himself across this country, staying in national parks and engaging in rounds of media interviews to bring attention to the scourge that is veteran suicide, and also to encourage his veterans, don't give up, don't stop fighting. And as Kurt on one late night phone call from a national park once told me, veterans who are battling post-traumatic stress disorder would call Kurt up and say, Kurt, this is great what you're doing, driving across country to our national parks. Can I do that with you someday? And Kurt said, absolutely. You just have to take care of yourself and you have to be here to participate in this cross-country tour, which we will do next year. So Kurt, to you, I thank you, and on behalf of Rep. Cronin, Rep. Doherty, and myself and Senator Brady, and Senator John Keenan, your state senator in your hometown. We thank you for all that you do, Kurt. With you, Kurt, you are the very best of what we have to offer. And we have a citation here honoring you, Kurt, if you would step forward, please, from the Massachusetts State Senate, with the full support of Rep. Doherty and Rep. Cronin supporting you and honoring you. And it states, Commonwealth of Massachusetts official citation, Massachusetts State Legislature, official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts State Legislature hereby extends its congratulations to Kurt Power in recognition of heroically serving your country during the Iraqi War and in many other duty stations along the way, for your commitment as well to assisting veterans battling the visible and invisible wounds of war. And be it further known that the Massachusetts House and Senate extend its best wishes for continued success in all your wonderful works, Kurt. This has been signed by Karen E. Spilka, myself, Walter F. Timilty, John F. Keenan, with the full support of Senator Michael Brady, Representative Carol Doherty, and Representative Claire Cronin. Kurt, thank you so much. With that, I thank you very much. God bless our veterans, God bless this wonderful town, and God bless our great country. Thank you so much. I just took Corey's folder with me. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That wasn't a bad joke.
No problem. Thank you, Senator Timilty. Now I'd like to welcome State Rep. Carol Doherty.
Thank you very much, Corey. It's always a pleasure for me to be invited here to Easton to offer remarks from the state legislature to the people in the town of Easton for whatever the occasion might be, particularly occasions like this honoring veterans. And I'm pleased to be in the company, of course, of my esteemed colleague, Senator Timilty, and also the representatives of the Board of Selectmen, and particularly in front of the citizens of the town of Easton, and the veterans as well. So thank you very much for having me here. And I have to thank Kurt Power for sharing this wonderful memento with me to commend the work, the activities of the veterans, and to remember Purple Heart Day. So thank you very much for that. So being the closing speaker particularly is a benefit, because I get to, in some instances, repeat the important aspects of what this day means to the town of Easton. And so I will do that. As has been said, of the town of Easton in 2015, the Board of Selectmen ratified a proclamation officially declaring Easton a Purple Heart community, and it is a credit to this community for doing that. Not all communities have a Purple Heart Commemoration Day. The proclamation expresses Easton's gratitude for the sacrifices of the members of the military, in particular those who have been awarded the Purple Heart after sustaining injuries or dying in combat, as has been said. Among other things contained in the proclamation, Easton is on record, and I quote, "in honoring the service and sacrifice of our nation's men and women in uniform that were wounded or killed by the enemy while serving to protect the freedoms enjoyed by all Americans." At that same time, the board also declared August 7th, tomorrow, as Purple Heart Day in the town. And since then, a ceremony has been held annually in remembrance of Purple Heart recipients, even during the most difficult and challenging pandemic year. I remember standing here just a year ago. It was about to rain, and we were all crowded underneath the blue tent so that we could stay dry. So I appreciate that very much, Corey. Thank you. Purple Heart Day is the kind of day created to give back. It's a day for Americans to remember and honor the men and women who bravely represented their country and were wounded or killed in service. These brave souls have been decorated with a Purple Heart in the name of the President of the United States. And this day is for remembering them and their sacrifice. Purple Heart Day is an important remembrance day because it recognizes the sacrifice made by those who were willing to put their lives on the line for our country. Thank you very much for inviting me here to deliver these remarks on this very important day. The opportunity to be in the company of such bravery is humbling. I feel privileged to be here with you, and thank you very much to the veterans for your service. And I'm also pleased to present 2 citations this morning. Let's see if I can do it without dropping things. The first is for the town of Easton. Thank you, Senator, for doing that as well. I appreciate that very much. And I have to reiterate that Representative Cronin, Leader Cronin, would be here if that were possible. So the first, and it should go to Corey and to Dottie. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the town of Easton's veteran services in recognition of the long-standing commitment to honor those who have been injured in an active war serving to protect our freedom. The entire membership of the House extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. And it's signed by the Speaker of the House, Representative Ron Mariano, myself, Carol Doherty, and of course, Representative Cronin. So whomever wishes to take it, frame it and hang it in your office, I guess. Okay. Thank you very much. And the second citation is for our guest, Kurt Power. When I came here today, I knew that Kurt was going to be here. I knew a little bit about the bravery that he exhibited during his tours in the war in Iraq, but had no knowledge of the deep-seated and heartfelt commitment he has to continuing to support the active soldiers and also the veterans here in Easton and across Massachusetts and in the United States as well. So this citation I give to Kurt Power with great pride on behalf of the state legislature, and it reads, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Kurt Power, heroically serving your country during the Iraq War and for your commitment to assisting veterans battling the visible and invisible wounds of war. The entire membership extends its best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors. Signed again by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, myself, Carol Doherty, and of course State Representative Claire Cronin. So. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed this opportunity to come back to Easton, and I will be here again and again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Doherty. And last but not least, our Select Board Chair, Dottie Pulcinetti.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks for everyone who came out today. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very pleased that when we have events for our veterans, so many of the people in our community show up to pay their honor and respect. This year is really difficult for me. My son he just got back to the States from serving in Afghanistan on the USS Eisenhower, and every year that I come to these, I think of them with respect and honor for the recipient, but it really hit home this year when my son was deployed for the last 6 months, not knowing what was going on, if he was safe. Gratefully, he returned home and he didn't have any injuries, but you just don't know. He served during COVID, and it was the first time that this has happened. There were a lot of bulletins from the Navy talking about it. And I think about the people that, didn't have communication with their service members from years before, where people were gone for a long time and they didn't know how they were doing. So I really just can't express enough gratitude for you, Kurt, for being such a leader, not only while you served, but especially while you're back and the great work that you're doing. And I hope that my son follows in your footsteps and is able to give back as graciously as you have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dottie. Thank you all for being here with us today. We couldn't do this without all of you in attendance here. And I think each year we try to get a guest speaker here or honor our local citizens who have received the Purple Heart to sort of personify what that means to receive that medal. And we've absolutely done it again this year. So thank you again, all of you, for being here. I'd like to give a special thank you to the DPW for setting up this event. Couldn't have done that without them. Thank you to the Easton Fire Department for being here to support the work that we do. Thank you to ECAT for being here to film and broadcast this event for those who could not make it. And lastly, thank you to all of you that support the work that we do here to support our military and veteran families. We appreciate everything that you do to support them. We are so grateful for their service. This concludes the Town of Easton's 2021 Purple Heart Day ceremony.